Hello, I am Endlessness and welcome back to Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, and this video will be a little different. I wanted to talk about the current state of the game and address some of the issues because I think it's safe to say it's not great and the majority of the community is unhappy and frustrated with how things currently are, and people are quitting the game. All kinds of players, because all types of players are affected, from free-to-play to whales and krakens, and this is very far from good. And I wanted to explain my own perspective. I'm not a whale, but a small spender, and I buy the monthly season pass and one character weapon pack per month on average. And when the game launched, for months I was only buying the season pass, so for months you could say I was pretty much a free-to-play player myself. So I have that experience too, and most players are free-to-play or small spenders. But I'm in a guild where many members are whales or krakens, and I have good friends who are bigger or much bigger spenders than me, but also some of them are free-to-play players as well. And I always read your comments under my videos as well as check what other people in different communities think of the game, so I dare to say I am in this position where I have direct contact and feedback from all types of players, and I can see things from their perspectives. And I also try to view those current issues from every perspective, from every type of player, because it affects all of them. Because these issues affect every type of player in one way or another, and it would be unfair to say only one group of players is affected. All players are, and that's why the whole community is currently frustrated with the game. And we play this game because we enjoy it, we like it or love it, and we want to continue to play it, but we also want to see it improving. But the current state isn't great, and I wanted to address all of that myself and talk about some suggestions that I think could improve things for us, the players, and for the game overall. Player rotation exists in every game. In every game, new players are joining and some people are quitting over time and moving to other games. But lately, I think we all have noticed a lot of people are on the verge of quitting or are quitting, and this is a big problem for everyone. Us the players, because it directly affects us, and of course the game, because the number of players is declining. And recently, most people are quitting the game. They aren't quitting the game because they got bored of it, but because of all those limited banners being too much. Recruiting is also becoming hard because people are leaving the game, and those who are active mostly have settled in their guilds. But what can we try to do to improve this current situation? I think the best course of action is communication. Write your feedback, all your issues and things you would like to see being improved on in the future, and just keep sending those emails, and we can hope they'll read and consider it, and that we'll start seeing or feeling those improvements sooner than later. And this won't have an immediate effect because Applebot, just like all other studios, are working on content that's far ahead in the future than what is currently being released. So keep sending those emails with feedback and have some patience. I think Year 2 has become extremely predatory, especially with those limited banners, because in 6 months we are sitting at 14 limited banners so far, and I'm already including the upcoming Rebirth Yuffie and Bard banner. As for featured banners, we only had 9 of them. Comparing it to Year 1, where we had 12 limited banners, including one rerun, and 28 featured banners in a whole year. Now let's compare the first 6 months that are leading to the half-year anniversary. In Year 1 we had 20 banners and only 3 of them were limited. Now in Year 2 we have 23 banners and 14 of them are limited. And we may likely get that anniversary Bahamut banner rerun soon, which they could split into 2 banners, so it could as well be even up to 25 banners and 16 limits, leading to that half anniversary mark. And 15 banners compared to 3 in those 2 years is a staggering difference. So yes, we are getting more banners now, but that's not the main issue. All those limited banners are the issue, or rather a big part of it, because they are so frequent, and after they expire, there's no way to work on those weapons further other than spending in the game, which I think shouldn't be the case. And they increase the amount of banners. We are getting a massive amount of limited banners, but we are still getting the same amount of crystals in a game. I have been tracking our monthly blue crystal income for months now, and the real free-to-play players are getting around 38,000 crystals per month on average, and 45,000 if you purchase the monthly premium pass. It means that since launch, the amount of crystals they are distributing has either barely changed or didn't change at all. Only the contents of premium pass have increased a little, but that's it. Meanwhile, they have not only increased the amount of banners, but us mainly getting only limited banners is making it so much worse for so many reasons. Free-to-play players and smaller spenders can't possibly keep up, but it's also an equally big problem for the whales, because now they are spending more money on the game just to keep up compared to what they were spending in the past, or were planning to spend per month. Not to mention that because of all this aggressive pacing and the increased amount of limited banners, this game is becoming less and less friendly to the new players, because sure, they can level up quickly, get their weapons a little bit higher, but all this godly limited gear is unobtainable to them, and we all know how good some of those limited weapons are. So I wanted to share my suggestions that I think not only could improve the current situation, but they could improve the game overall. First, I would like to suggest the first 10 pull on every banner to be a free pull. Every new banner. So if you pulled on the original banner already, you wouldn't have that option if that banner is being rerun. I played Final Fantasy Dissidia Opera Omnia for about a year before Ever Crisis launched, and this is how the banners were in that game. One 10 pull isn't anything big since it's just one pull, but it's a nice free pull for us, and it could also benefit Applebot as well. People might want to continue pulling on that banner more often since they already made some progress on it. I also think they could improve the banner system overall. Featured banners have already been improved very nicely, having a lot more guaranteed 5-star weapons and banner copies on multiple stamps, but limited banners have received no improvements ever since the half-year anniversary a year ago, and I think they should include more guaranteed banner copies on more stamps. Also, pulling beyond guaranteed copies never feels good because it's just a gamble, and you could go through multiple pages without getting a single banner copy. Improve the stamps, improve the odds too, if possible, because even with 1.5% chance, we might not get a single copy, or keep getting weapons we haven't even wishlisted. Make a better pity system, because, well, it doesn't hurt as much on featured banners. It feels devastating on limited banners now that we have so many of them. My other suggestion is adding all past limit break weapons to the wishlist on all new limit break banners, because this insane amount of limited banners is staggering, and us being able to only wishlist normal weapons available in the game isn't helpful either, and this addition of past limited weapons being in a wishlist would benefit every type of player. Then every Sunday and Wednesday we have those mercenary dailies with weapon parts requests, where we can get few weapon parts for 5 wishlist weapons. I think limited weapons should be added to that pool. It wouldn't hurt them, because we're only getting a small amount of parts per week, but even 5 limited weapon parts would be a great help for us, the players, and it wouldn't hurt the game economy. For example, I had Sephiroth's Shinra Blades wishlisted in those mercenary requests for about 5 months by now, and just now I have finally managed to get enough parts to overboost it. So while we are getting only around maybe 10 parts per week on average, it's still something that would be especially helpful to slowly make some progress on limited weapons, and any progress is better than none. And then we have premium quests. Right now I think any active, long-time player has more than enough character memories and weapon enhancement materials, so those premium quests are mostly ignored or forgotten because we can't get anything to progress with. We also have more than enough purple and yellow pods for those level 110 weapon upgrades. We have a lot of character memories and even more of those memory vouchers. So I would like to suggest the addition of new premium quests with character specific weapon parts. It could be small amounts like 3 or 5, but it would always be helpful for every kind of player. I think many people appreciate seeing other characters getting banners more often as well. Aerith had 12 banners so far, Tifa 11, Cloud and Seth had 10 banners and now Yuffie has 8, Zack 7, but other characters haven't gotten even half of those numbers. Also, I would like to point out that while Cloud and Seth had a lot of banners and were amazing units at the beginning of the game, they have fallen down quite a lot and became rather mid, and Cloud is often getting screwed over with his limited gear being trashed a week or a month later. Meanwhile, everything Tifa and Aerith get is God tier. Tifa's New Year's gear, God tier, and it makes all Tifa's element godly and it shouldn't get power crept for a while, unlike Cloud's Locksword providing only mid buffs for 3 elements out of 6, which wasn't even the best when it released, and then a month later we got Tifa with her New Year's banner, which is so much better. And then there's Aerith with Kamura, which is still to this day the MVP weapon. But there is another issue. Aerith is an amazing support unit only if you have her limited weapons. I would like all characters to get the same or similar treatment and not some of them being better or godly at the expense of others. Yes, I understand the main FF7 game characters are more popular and they might get more attention. That's fine. But it's not even the case because other characters are often left behind and forgotten. We currently have Rebirth crossover, and from what I've seen, most people are most looking forward to Barret and are very happy he is finally getting something. And that's great to see because I think if all characters would get banners more often, all those characters would be used in teams a lot more often. In year 2, Aerith and Yuffie got 4 banners. Aerith only got limited banners by the way, but then Lucia and Zack haven't got a single banner. Not to mention that last time Zack got a proper banner was almost a year ago in April. So it's obvious some characters are much less often used, and it's not because they are less popular, but because other characters have gotten so many other better weapons while those characters lack a lot of gear due to not getting any banners. So that's all regarding banners and weapons, but I'm not done yet. Because the amount of banners per month has been increased and essentially we are getting a banner every week, I would like to suggest increasing the distribution of blue crystals. It was fine in year 1 where we had less featured banners and only 2 or 3 limited banners every 3 months on average, but it's much harder now. I remember how after months of hoarding crystals I was able to spend around 100,000 crystals to pull on just one half anniversary banner. Today, it would be completely impossible because of that high amount of banners and especially limited banners that we are getting. Smaller players can't hoard crystals for a few months while waiting for anniversary or crossover because we are getting all those limited banners every month now. Since year started, it's a massive struggle trying to either save crystals or just not to run out. It's too much, too fast. And while those 38,000 crystals per month was fine a year ago, it isn't enough now. And I understand the game, like any other game, is a business. It is also putting off all those free-to-play players and smaller spenders because while they could at least pull for their favorite characters in the past, they can't afford now to pull just for their favorites anymore due to this very aggressive pacing. Big spenders don't have it easier because they now have to spend a lot more than they used to just to keep up. Now for the content and events. A year ago we had those gathering events only for some holidays. We had one for Christmas, then Valentine's Day and Easter. Those gathering events required no stamina to participate in battles, and every day we just had to collect tickets to participate. I think it wasn't bad, and all the negative feedback was mainly because they were time-gated. Every day we unlocked a new battle and then spent the rest waiting until we unlocked that highest stage to start farming it. Personally, I don't think they were bad. There were those small, casual events during holidays where many people might be busy, so I welcomed them, and I would welcome them if they were to come back today. Even with this Rebirth crossover, we could have had such Valentine's Day events with such format. Stamina has always been a returning issue, especially when we get multiple events that are heavy on stamina, which can be stressful for the players, so those gathering events appearing from time to time would be a nice addition. I would also like to see more different events, because for quite some time it's already feeling like it's all about just crash ranking, crash, and ranking. Guild Battle is always near the end of the month, and that's fine, but lately for me it feels like it's all have been just about crash and ranking events. We have had 3 crash events within a month, and then they already skipped the seasonal event story multiple times, so it feels like all other content has become a background. I understand why they are pushing crash and ranking so much. Those 2 events pressure people more to put on those related banners, but I think there is enough pressure already, and I think in the past the balance between harder, more sweaty events and the casual ones was a lot better than now. Personally, I would like to see a new format of events to bring some freshness, because lately it feels quite stale. Maybe some minigames as well. Many people like those gold saucer minigames, maybe a card game or something else. Just something. It could be even small additions, and change the pacing to make the content more balanced. Same for guilds and guild events. We only have a guild battle every month, which is very nice, and 3 days of ranking is much better than 5 we had at launch, so it was a great improvement. But I think it would make guilds more interesting if the game would host more guild events beside the guild battle. And lastly, the shops and packs, and this is mainly whale perspective and not mine, because I only buy a pack per month for Cloud or Seth. And in year 1 we had double character weapon packs every month, even more often than that, and big spenders would buy some or even all of them, and that would not only make sure that they would have crystals to put on banners, but also they were collecting all those weapon parts for all characters to be able to overboost their weapons. But year 2 has changed that. Now every shop is a banner shop, and I think we have seen a generic shop with double character weapon packs maybe twice in all those months. Characters get a limited banners and a shop, but over time whales are having less and less character parts because they have to use them to max out all those limited weapons, and they have no way of constantly replenishing their collection. And lastly, this isn't as much improvement to the game, but more to the player base. I would love to see those roadmaps more often. We only had 2, I think, maybe 3, but please make more of these, because they are very important to us, the players, and they give us more information on what we can expect and look forward in the game, instead of only speculating what we might or might not get. And of course there are many other things that could be improved. Reset or call bosses whenever they reappear so people can get crystals, but also remember that non-event co-op exists. Improve materia system, because the RNG is terrible, and I have done over 20,000 synthesis, and even with those guilds bonuses, it's been months since I have gotten any materia upgrades that I could call an improvement. There are many other things, but I think the ones that I have mentioned in this video should take the highest priority to change and improve. But I would also love to hear your opinion about this whole situation and what you think about it and how it could be improved on. So, as I said, I recommend writing them emails with your feedback, express your frustrations and suggest things that they should improve. My friends and guild members are already doing that, and I don't think there is any other or better way to deal with that. So, yeah, thank you very much for coming to my TED Talk, and I hope to see you next one.